Good morning. Or if you're in Vietnam, good evening, I guess. It is time for Brazil versus Vietnam A. Let me make a post. And post in a couple places. All right. I need some water. Good morning there. I am just rolling out of bed. Took a shower. And now I'm going to cast this. And it's 9:30 a.m. And I have plumbers coming over here again this week at 2 p.m. to finish something they weren't able to do last week. And I hope I finish casting this before 2 p.m. I think 4.5 hours should be enough time. But you never know. At least, oh gosh, Team Islands is there for Brazil. Might not be enough time. And how does Brazil take Team Islands as a home map? And then Portuguese ends up on the second row of civs. That seems wrong. Like Portuguese-Bengali combo. Feels like it's kind of a winning combination on Team Islands. It's defend the landings and eventually you win. And at least that's what it looked like with Austria. Let's see if they had the drafts up. Let's try to find if they have a lobby up. And looks like they do. Miguel and Goku. It's not showing on the overlay. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But our first map will be Golden Lakes. Oh, hello there. Here you resubbed, but you're denied your notification thing. You resubbed with Amazon Prime when I wasn't streaming. So I can wait. I think I can replay your little notification thing. Wait. I have the power to do this. Filter. So, oh, there we are. There, we got you. You get your notification. You know, if you want, we can even do that again. Oh, the power, being able to click the repeat button. Not sure if man can handle this power. Oh, and hello LB10 and Yanksty Fishing. Ooh, if you like fishing, you're gonna like the new patch once they hotfix it and fix all the broken stuff. As fish traps are gonna be even better. Oh, there's people joining the lobby, and the lobby showing up. So while they're joining, we'll take a quick look at the brackets. You just got used to the old fish boom? Now LV10? you are going to be able to put the fish traps directly adjacent to the dock and turn on auto reseed, and then just leave them there, and they will reseed themselves, and the fishing ships will not all sail around and get confused. So you'll be able to fit more docks in a pond and more fish traps around the docks. And I think those little corner bits near the docks where the fishing ships would kind of sail around, you should be able to fit fish traps there, and they should behave. Under some pressure, so it was meh. Yeah, once you get a clean fish boom. Will I turn auto reseed off then? In the past, you would turn it off because the fishing ships would, if they go... Okay, so when the fish trap expired, the fishing ship would attempt to sail to the center of the fish trap to reseed it, kind of like villagers did with farms. But unlike farms, they were not able to start construction while they were standing on top of it. So they'd sail to the middle of the fish trap, sail off of it, and then construct it again, and that would just mess up their positioning. But now, they don't need to sail off of it. So they just stand on top of it and reseed it and stay in the same place. So you could, I guess the only reason to turn auto reseed off would be if you want to conserve the wood. But for the fish traps, you can probably just leave it on and forget about it, and your fishing eco will just be there. Yeah. And they also made the fishing ships slightly smaller in their collision size, so I think you can fit the fish traps on the corners of the docks too. So if you get a nice dock on beach terrain, you can fit 16 fish traps around it. There's no difference in efficiency, because whether the fish traps are one tile or adjacent to the docks, the fishing ships still don't have to move, but it's just so much nicer with reseeding them. Oh, looks like the lobby disappeared. Or, nope, it just disappeared from the overlay. Looks like we're just waiting for Dogao at the moment. And I was gonna say we'll take a look at the standings. So, where we are right now, we had Brazil lost 3-2 to France in a very epic Game 5. Vietnam beat China B, but then lost to China A. So Brazil A, then the lower bracket took care of Argentina B, and now we'll be facing off against Vietnam A, where, personally, I think I slightly favor Brazil here. But Vietnam's also a very good team. Yeah, exactly. You can fit more docks in the lakes, too. Oh, hello there, running. Vietnam hasn't picked Nomad. They did not pick Nomad. Yeah, so your first two home map picks are before any bans. So if Vietnam really wanted Nomad, they could have picked it first. Wait, Paradox, how does the drafting work? Vietnam, since they're technically the higher seed in this matchup since they came here from the second round of the upper bracket, right? So they should have picked first in the draft, shouldn't they? Like, they should have hosted the draft and not Brazil? Or does Brazil being the higher seed in the seeding sheet mean they still should host it? No, they're not? Okay, so it's just the higher seed. Alright. And hello there, Marshmallow. Oh, and thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the Baltic Fleet. You set a precedent now. Impossibly calm. It's nice and calm now. Gotta blast them all twice. Okay, we'll give him a second one. They're now sailing twice with the Baltic Fleet. So it looks like we're still just waiting for Dogao. This is on the old patch, so hopefully everyone has the patch set up and has all their mods and hotkeys set up. I actually have not played the new one yet, because I've just been casting the games on the old one. But I hopefully will get to it today as I edit that fish trap video. So I think this is the only set today, but then tomorrow at 1945, we're going to have Italy A versus United States B. And I'm looking forward to that. United States B in the Silver League. They just knocked out Spain. And I believe in them. And thank you, BJ Kiriko, for the follow. Hello, No Chance. Who is on USAB? That's a good question. Let me go check out the... Actually, you know what? I can check that. I'm just gonna swap this over real quick. United States B. And it's Big Tuna, Locke, Zach, Menunez, Sakos Med, Rooster, Motastic, Kilroy, and Pulse. Yeah, I got the rosters saved here. We can change in the overlay. Oh, wait a minute. I think wait. Oh, I need to swap over from the display capture. Wait, what did I just do there? I hit something. I hit something I didn't mean to hit. I'm not sure if I actually displayed that properly. Wait a minute. I think I did, and I just swapped it at the last second. Hotkeys. Hotkeys are hard. Oh, wait. That's what I did. There. I'm highlighting that. Don't highlight. I'll manage my browser sources correctly one day. I should probably have like a local server running with like a control panel that I don't need to directly interact with browser sources in OBS to edit the overlays. I think that would actually be yeah, maybe I'll set that up. I could just like have that on my I could just have that like on my laptop next to me, and I wouldn't need to do all this alt tabbing. Ooh. Ideas are dangerous. Alright, but it looks like they are launching Gold and Silver League, indeed still on the old patch. And what is the spec delay? The DE, this is not the time to give me a news post. Well, in an example of how not to design menus, we're on the lobby screen, but this guy over here, he's just staring into our souls, and we have like, let's vote for the map pool. And I just want to play arena, and Spicy Expeditions. Games as a service stuff. Anyway, looks like we had a 3-minute spec delay. And we'll jump into this in a minute. You here for some more drama, Snippy? You should have been here yesterday for the drama. That's when the drama really unfolded. Alright, well, you can still see the civs from here. So it will be Golden Lakes for Vietnam, Khmer flank, Korean flank. Ooh, Koreans on Golden Lakes. Interesting. I mean, their fire ships are cheaper. Usually you think of them going galleys, though, than Teuton Hindustani pockets. For Brazil, we have been seeing the American civs used here as the flanks. So Aztecs, then also pairing them with Vietnamese and Persian-Lithuanian pockets. I feel like Brazil has a more map-specific set of civs, with the good fish booms of Lithuanians and Persians. We have about 45 seconds left in the spec delay. Into Low Trooper. Want to read long. Maybe imagine if we had ChatGPT just write responses in the style of AoE zone posts. All right, here we are. Let me set the team names up. This will be Brazil A against Vietnam A on Golden Lakes. Must have been fun to arrange a time. Oh yeah. Well, I once played a 2v2 tournament with ACCM, and we're exactly 12 hours apart. And that was fun scheduling. Anyway, whoa, one more thing. Dogao, his name, he likes using the, as you can see there, the little d in his name. And why do these names have spaces before them? Alright, there we are. So, first up we will have some laming going on. As Dogao, before I even introduce the players, he is forward to lame. These birds are very close to the ground there. That's what happens when you put the elevation real high. And looks like he will be successful and maybe even find his sheep on the way back. We see Say My Name also forward, and he might be going for a counter lame, but it looks like he already took some shots from the TC. So it will be very precise for him to pull off. And actually, he might not do it, but he might bring his pocket here to go for the lame. Oh, wait, Say My Name's getting double lamed, as Miguel's also forward. All right, oh, Say My Name's gonna lose 2 boars here. And that's a devastating on this map. Oh, but we also have a lame on the other side, as Bad Boy will be taking a boar from Fire. Because there's no deer on this map, but Fire is also going to be taking a boar from Bad Boy. And you only have your 8 sheep and 2 boar. You don't have any deer. So it's hard to recover from the lame. And if you're going to be fighting on the water, you want to be up really fast. So, ooh, this lame might not succeed, though, as both scouts from Brazil are going to come over and take out or get a hit on Bad Boy's scout. And there we go. Say My Name. He's just going for it. He wants that boar. And we had... Looks like Miguel's lame failed. That was blocked by yellow. But now Miguel can come over and try to block this lame. But... Oh! What? Wait a minute. What just happened? Miguel must have been very low HP on that scout. That was a one hit that did a lot of damage. Wait, he's at 13 HP there. How did that scout do that much damage? Did the boar... Oh, the boar hit it. I guess the boar hit it at the same time as the scout there. And okay, yeah, he blocked the scout and the boar got it. All right, that's what happened there. And on the other side, looks like we're still going to have a scout fight as Bad Boy will lose his scout. And Say My Name will at least eventually get that boar in. So he will get one boar. Not the worst, but not getting that counter lane will hurt. Fearless boar. I got confused on which scout the boar was chasing. But Bad Boy down a boar and Say My Name down a boar. Brazil managing to, let's catch up now, save themselves from being counter-lamed as well. And we'll have Fire doing Loom before going to Dock. So now, time to introduce the players after all that laming. We will have to the northwest Brazil. Fire will be Aztecs on the flank. Of course, they have the Eagle to do their laming. Goku will be Persians in the pocket. Miguel will be Lithuanians in the pocket. And Dogao will be Vietnamese on the flank. On the other side, we will have a forward Dock from Dogao. So this is the 2-2 Dock setup where both teams do have safe corners. And Dogao will be going for the forward aggressive Dock, and looks like he hasn't been scouted yet. And Say My Name lost his scout, so that might actually not be scouted. So to the southeast of the map, we will have Say My Name as the Khmer on the flank. And his pocket, Teokoi, will be playing in the yellow as the Teutons. We'll have Fish, quite appropriately fishing, but he will be the purple pocket Hindustanis. And then finally, Bad Boy will be the Koreans on the flank. This is on the old patch, yes indeed. So this is going to be the sneak dock action from Dogao. Usually, I feel like the sneak docks shouldn't work in this situation, as long as the other team gets 2 docks from their flank, and then the pocket can make 1 fire galley, and you can just wall in that Vil, send 2 Vils to go Vil fight, not let them get a second dock up. But Dogao is being sneaky, and after all that laming, he did kill the scout. So this will be a very clandestine forward dock from him. Vietnam maybe not expecting it, thinking that this map setup is the safer one. And actually interesting to see Bad Boy, maybe after that lame, he's not going to go for a dock. Instead, he's just going to go forward. He's mining some stone, and he wants to trush. This map should have deer. Without it, it turns into a laming fiesta. Yeah, I think, now that I've seen this a lot, I think adding deer to it would be a good idea. I think deer also might give you a possibility of maybe considering galleys on the flank. Here, like, if you don't get your, as we finally see Say My Name scouting that second dock, if you don't get your fish protected, then all of a sudden you won't be able to afford fletching on the galleys. It's fun, Paradox likes flaming. And there is the tower. Has Fire scouted that? No, he has not. So that'll be a tower and a forward barracks there from a Bad Boy as the Koreans. And well, Koreans, they are the tower rushing Civ. Maybe he did pick them planning to trush. I do often feel, though, that the trush is kind of ineffective if the person being trushed has fish that they can gather from. As all of a sudden, the resources you're denying are not going to be that impactful because you do have those fishing ships still supporting you. And Eagle going down to the TC. 2 farms out from Bad Boy. And he's going to have to hope that this tower rush strategy pays off because he does not have any fish. And at the same time, it looks like Dogao is taking a good lead on the water. Say My Name, still not able to click up. He had to go out to berries without his boar. And up around 11:30 almost, he's going to be losing his fish. And with the scout there, he can't even protect that Vil. She needs to run. And not even able to hide behind the dock. She'll die to the scout. And absolutely perfect opening here from Dogao. So Brazil came to play in game 1. Laming right from the start. And it seems like they are very comfortable on this map. Looks like Bad Boy is going to try to disrupt the pocket. But again, you're disrupting someone who will have those fish, and this tower, there is actually an archer harassing the Vills. And the scouts are in. Vill's not walled enough. A Vill goes down, and another Vill hops into the tower. But tower goes up with the spear around the base. Will be a bit awkward to get the scouts there. Looks like we have another eagle from fire. And that tower won't stay up for long. These Vills will try to repair it, try to wall themselves in again. And this is some good pressure from Fish. That one spearman being there is so annoying because it stops the scouts from being able to camp this tower and also attack it along with the other villagers. It's on 8 HP. It's kind of tempting just to try to jump it with your scouts and get it out of the way. Another archer being picked off here. Ooh, now another scout's coming forward for Bad Boy. And it does look like Say My Name has managed to get his own pair of forward docks here. But Miguel is prepared for that and has 1, 2, 3 docks of his own, so he will have a production advantage in the fire galleys. But his fish will now be disrupted, so this is everyone on Brazil being slightly disrupted. Dogao, of course, was forward, didn't have a safe fish, and then the other two players have been tower rushed, and now we have this fire galley forward here from Say My Name. So at the same time, Dogao, very clearly he's won this pond. He's getting a good fish boom with 8 fishing ships out there. And doesn't look like we have any archers from the other side yet. Dogao just now adding in his 2 ranges. He has fully walled himself into the corner. And they could get a team wall up there, but still have to be careful about the scouts running around the back. As OBS don't drop frames. Alright, looks like that's stabling out now. Stabilizing. And Miguel will have to go for a spear to protect himself. Again, not fully team walled. Brazil's working on that now, but this tower rush will be disrupting that. And it does look like we have a villager. Hello. Hello, Bad Boy. You want to build a dock there. I don't think Fire would like that, but he hasn't noticed you there. We'll have a scout on the other side, picking off a Vill from Goku. We do have Fire with 1 galley. That galley is supposed to deny any forward dock attempts, but he will actually need to pay attention to it. They should have scouting around the entire edge of this lake almost, other than there, so they should be able to see the Vill if she does try to lay down that foundation. Fire is still not really disrupted by this Trush. He has a few archers of his own, and will be adding in that market, doing foraging. Alright, so he's not going to go archers. He's thinking about going eagles. Alright, eagles from the flank. Maybe he's realizing that Bad Boy isn't walled and wants to just get in and raid with the eagles. I would think he'd probably click up to the castle age first. That could also just be a misclick. I mean, he does have a couple of spears here and there. And the Vills from Bad Boy never were cleaned up. Those few forward spears that he was able to get forward did a lot of work in keeping the Vills safe underneath those towers from the scouts. Dave Hun doesn't like an eagle switch. I'm not actually seeing any eagle switch. No armor. Could he have misclicked Fletching trying to do armor on the archers? Because he is forward with a lot of archers. I mean, did he do forging just for the spears? And Orange just has not docked anywhere. This is just 1 pond fully for fish. And looks like Miguel actually has been losing his pond, but it is still 3 docks to 2. So we should eventually be able to come back. But it might actually be hard for him, as Say My Name is up to the castle age. Won't be up as fast as Dogao, and now Dogao with that forward archer is going to have to apply some pressure, as the Vietnamese, his archers will have a bit of extra HP, and he has been on 2 ranges, and will be adding in a university for early ballistics. So Dogao will look to be aggressive here, as Bad Boy is just with the Koreans trying to trush the entirety of Goku's base. Forging to make the opponent expect eagles. And I still... Well, at least fire is somewhat palisade walled. I still don't understand the forging. The towers will prevent a clean team wall. And oh, this dock actually did go up despite the presence of the galley from fire. So hard to pay attention in all the different places you need to look at on this map. But Goku responding accordingly with a couple of... or with a fire galley of his own. Fire adding in 2 fire galleys and even preparing with a demo, in case the fires pop out of that dock. So this shouldn't be too much of an issue. And remember, as the Lithuanians, Miguel does want to control this pond in the long run because it will be an extra relic for him. As nice as it is for Dogao to have this pond, it will be hard to get a monk over here and extract that relic and bring it over to your Lithuanian teammate. And up a couple of demos here, as in the Castle Age, Say My Name has tried to redock. But Dogao will be on top of that, cleaning it up. And he's going to try to redock again. So Say My Name just wants to keep coming onto this pond and attempt to stop Dogao from fishing. Will Dogao be paying attention to this? He's moving his fires back out. And he will still have a 3-dock advantage. And he's up to the Imperial Age. Dogao, with the fish boom, going straight up to Imp. That university, it wasn't for ballistics. It was to unlock the Imperial Age, as he has another building somewhere. A monastery or a workshop somewhere that I'm just not seeing now. Oh, there's the monastery. Yeah, so Dogao's up to Imp. He's adding in a second TC. Fish will start coming out to the middle, but it'll be the Hindustani player against a Vietnamese player in Imp who will be able to go for Arbalests. And that should be a pretty good counter to the camels. And the only real issue now is Miguel. He had 3 docks, but he's lost them. And he's lost all of his fish. You want your pockets to have a fish boom here. And Miguel, he's in the Castle Age, but... oh, didn't have enough scouts from Goku, and he's losing Vils. He's down to 33 Vils, and he has been hit hard this game. Brazil, they wanted to team wall, but Vietnam, with that Koreans pick from Bad Boy, very disruptive to the team wall. And Dogao moving out just now, but moving out when he does fire his ship and stops this dock from being useful. But moving out when his pocket's basically dead. And now the camels from Fish can also harass Goku a bit. Brazil still not walled. And, I mean, it wouldn't take much for them to be walled. They just have to wall there and then there. And they would be mostly walled. We'd still have Goku open with the towers. But, I mean, you could wall there and try to clean that tower wall in front and then be fully team-walled. And it's hard with all the towers, though. I think Miguel, at least, there's ways to get Miguel walled off. And we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 towers here in Goku's base, denying him from his back gold and both of his stones, so he only has that forward gold that's just about to run out. And these towers are fairly well walled in. But at least the corners are open so knights can clear them. Now, Imp and Bracer, ballistics in for Dogao. He is Xing. Remember, Arbalest is more expensive now, and might be difficult for him to afford. His teammates are not able to sling him. If only towers could move, then he'd have army. We'll see how the crossbows do. These Castle Age Knights have +2, but it's 8 attack. So the crossbows should be able to do quite a bit of damage to them. But it's still crossbows. It's not like these are knights that can get underneath TCs. What is Dogao going to be able to do with them? Vietnam up now by 20 Vils, even though Brazil still does have the score lead. Fire going out to the middle at the same time as Bad Boy. And here come those crossbows, still not eagles. Our Korean player can defend with a guard tower. And And Fire is now forward onto this pond. He did a sneak dock, and with a few fire ships has cleared fish from all of his fishing ships. And this is a very messy game, but there are no relics in the middle. And let's see, where are they? Oh, thank you, Chart, for the follow. Who has the relics now? Where's the relic thing? One for yellow, and I imagine he's going for the next one too. As Brazil's now coming forward, Dogao's bracer crossbows will be combining with Goku's army, a mixture of knights and camels, and trying to apply some pressure to yellow. But still, TC's providing a pretty good defense. He can run the Vils around, and thank you X1011 for the follow. And, well, Dogao still doing chemistry, but he can't afford Arbalest. That's so expensive now. And Fire will be castle dropping the edge, going to hit Bad Boy's TC. Nice castle from him there. Vietnam still trying to TC their edge of the middle. Dogao might be trying to attack from the rear. Can he deny this TC? Only 84%. Looks like he should be able to. And, well, it does just go up, but Vil's not able to garrison there, and Dogao will have a siege workshop. Remember, this cracked terrain does mean the buildings take extra damage, and even more extra if you're on a hill with a trebuchet or a bombard cannon. And Dogao, as the Vietnamese, does have cannons. And we did just see him research chemistry earlier, just now doing thumb ring, and cooking everything aside from that ARB upgrade. As in the back, both Fish and Yellow trying to take a fight against Goku, and they will be cleaning him up. Score is still very close and a big Vil lead for Vietnam, but no one up to the Imperial Age yet, as Fire has just clicked. What are these farms? Oh, there's his mill. Faraway farms actually aren't too bad when you have handcart, because of the way the farm food regenerates. The extra walking time gives it a bit more time to regenerate, so you kind of make up for it. And, well, there are Dogao's crossbows being cleaned. And his forward workshops, he went for the cannon, but the cannon now when both of the armies were cleaned. He's denying a castle. He's going to need a way to keep that cannon alive now that the knights from yellow are moving over. That forward Vil still there doing a lot of damage. It will be difficult to bring his cannons over to the safety of his crossbows soon. The farm has 2 food counters, like the overall food and the currently available food. That slowly regens up to 15 food. Maybe I'll have to make a video about farm specifics at some point. It's kind of like if you remember Age of Empires 1 docks, where you clicked on the dock and you'd see the trade resource, and it would go down as the trade boats traded with it, and then went back up over time. Now with 2 cannons, looks like Dogao is able to deny that castle and destroy the TC. So Say My Name won't have any access to gold. There's still a villager over here. That monk not quite there in time to convert her. And Miguel not able to redock still, as the Lithuanians not able to access those relics. We'll have 2 castles here from Fish, as he is up to the Imperial Age, but already the Trebs are out for Fire, and as are the cannons for Dogao. This castle will be under a lot of pressure, while also on that cracked terrain. Camels, can the camels pick off the cannons? Looks like they can't. Say My Name's up to Imp, but Imp without access to gold. And Dogao will try to finish off this foundation. Needs to actually attack it, though, before the Vil gets over. Say My Name. I'm just spending a tiny bit more stone on it. Dogao not actually finishing that off. I feel like he should just get one good volley with the cannons and finish it. Like, get the stone away before Say My Name deletes it. And Dogao now has the map control, does still have the score lead, and Fire here able to push into the middle. Really strange game of this map. Usually it's the pockets who get a fish boom and carry, but this time it's the flanks carrying for Brazil. And now 3 Trebs. It might be downhill, but it's still 3 Trebs working on that other castle from Fish. And this is pushing Vietnam off of the middle. And now all of these Korean guard towers in Goku's base, well, Goku doesn't care about them that much anymore because he's in the middle taking gold. It's not double damage, I think it's like 20% more damage to buildings that cracks terrain. It's similar to a hill bonus, kind of. Yeah, so someone can double check me on that, but I think it's 20%. And now Fire is getting in. He has clicked the Arbalest upgrade. No thumb ring for the Aztecs, but otherwise they are fully upgraded with their attack upgrades. And we'll be trying to get to the point where Dogao can assist. And Dogao gladly will assist. Miguel also fighting. Fire gonna stand in a choke point. And that should be a good fight for the Arb players. We now have Yellow up to Imp, but Imp without access to gold in the middle, with his gold at home being denied. And his TCs being attacked by camels. Oh, and what's Tatar's Precious? Thank you for the sub. Keep will be in soon. Well, Keep is in, but there is the GG. The Keep's not enough to keep Vietnam in the game when they don't have the middle, and Brazil A, in a very crazy game number 1, ends up taking the victory. New strategy on this map from Bad Boy, adding in the Korean Tower Rush on the pocket. Didn't really damage Fire too much, though, and Fire just had the free fish boom. So great play from Dogao in the forward dock, but maybe Miguel needed to do 1 galley and just have it patrolling this part of the shoreline, just to prevent that forward dock while he was fish booming. If he has his fish and Say My Name doesn't get this forward, and this should have been preventable at that point, if it's only 1 Vil forward, then Miguel should get a nice fish boom. But the flanks for Brazil, managing to carry this game when the pockets were harassed. And let's check out the stats. Most kills for Dogao, he's definitely the MVP that game. Miguel only 26 kills as Lithuanian pocket on this map, but his team still found a way to put it together. All those resources for Yellow weren't quite enough against the might that is Dogao. And that 25-44 Imp, quite fast. And APM award goes to Teokoi for that 67 total GE APM. I don't even know what GE means, but he has it. And that will be a win for Brazil. And for the Civs, that's winning with Aztecs, Lithuanians, Persians, and Vietnamese. And Vietnam losing with Hindustanis, Teutons, oh, their very last Civ, Khmer, and Koreans. So definitely felt like a more standard set of civs for that map for Brazil. Interesting, Vietnam used both their very first civ and their very last civ. Game effective, greater effective, great empire. I mean, EAPM is effective APM. I don't know what the G transforms that into. So 1-0 lead for Brazil after game 1. Vietnam now gets to pick the map they want to play next. They can pick any of their maps, don't necessarily have to pick their home map. APM sponsored by General Electric. Team Islands. Oh boy. As I said, I do have the plumber coming to do some stuff in just under 4 hours now. So I hope this finishes before then, but Team Islands is not giving me hope for that. I think ACCM just didn't feel like playing. You had a Team Islands game in the Wood League? That sounds like fun. We had some good Team Islands, or at least one good Team Islands game. I think we only played it once with USAE. Game estimated actions per minute. Okay. It looks like game number 2 will be on Arabia. So what do we have here for Vietnam? Mayans, Chinese, Franks, and Poles, maybe? Could go Berbers or even Malians if they wanted as a pocket. They don't have too many pocket options. Could also go Portuguese as a flank, but I imagine they'd want to save Portuguese for Team Islands. Chinese could also be a pocket if they wanted to, but I also don't see maybe Incas would be a flank then. I don't see what else they'd use for a flank. Chinese they might want for Team Acropolis too. Yeah, Saxi will go to sleep and wake up to Portuguese on Vitorious on Team Islands. While the other team has relic advantage. Oh yeah. It'll be like Brazil will pull off an epic heist and get all 3 relics and sit on 6 relics. And have Spanish trade, whereas Vietnam will have Vitorias and Bengali trade, and will be a never-ending game of Team Islands. Being lamed on Golden Lakes is a game loser? Yeah, that's true too. No, Bact is not on the team this year. So no matter how, yeah, it's a map where, like, on one hand, I kind of appreciate having a map where you don't have the extra resources, but if we're gonna do that, maybe we just need to like put the boars and sheep really close to the TC so laming isn't possible on it. Because I do feel like laming is a bit too punishing on that map. Well, 3 minutes spec delay now, but we will see the civs. As for Vietnam, Mayans, why are they not using Portuguese on Team Islands? What are these teams? These teams need to watch their Austria UK series. But they'll go Mayan, Portuguese flanks, Pole, Frank pockets. And then we'll have Saracen, Ethiopian flanks, Slav, Magyar pockets for Brazil. You don't like the sheep position, you think they're way too far? Maybe they are. And hello, Gokihan, 27. Team Islands versus Brazil is pretty much a loss, maybe saving civs. I don't know. I've seen one game of Portuguese Bengalis Team Islands is enough for me to think maybe that's the way to play Team Islands. They also have Vikings, right? Imagine if they had gone Portuguese, Bengalis, Vikings, Koreans, all the wood savings on the ships, and then the Portuguese, Bengali trade still being 2 good water civs. Austria did win against the UK, yes. And giving us as much drama as possible. Oh, and thank you, Gokihan, for giving out a community sub. thank you very much. And welcome, Bree, to the Baltic Fleet. So another minute of spec delay. The Happy Leaves overlay isn't picking it up, but no problem there. Thank you, Dingo Dynamite, for the follow. Compared to the upcoming teams, their drafts look very weird. What does the sub notification say? That is the fishing ship sound from Age of Empires 1. What he actually says is probably left to your imagination. But there's probably an actual line that is there. And I am Peyton. Thank you for the follow. And alright, spec delay just about over. Thought the lines from AoE1 are a fake language. Well, they might still be lines, though. Alright, so to the north, we'll have the Vietnamese team, and to the south, the Brazilian team. And I saw the scout walking past the boar, and I was like, what type of laming is going on already? But we will have to the flank, Bad Boy as the Portuguese, with Fish as the Frank's pocket. Then Tukoi as the Poles pocket, and Same Name as the Mayans flank. For Brazil, as the scout for Bad Boy is coming forward, Fire will be taking his boar nice and early so he doesn't get lamed. We'll have Fire as the Saracens flank, giving that Saracens team bonus to his team. And ooh, Bad Boy running straight into the TC. And taking some HP loss there. Then Fire's pocket will be Goku as the Slavs. Then Miguel will be the Cyan Magyar pocket, and then Dogao will be Ethiopians on the flank. We have a scout fight, as it looks like Dogao is trying to do some laming going forward. And we did see Vietnamese used in the previous match. That Vietnamese Aztecs combo for the TC locations and then the Eagle to lame was pretty successful for Brazil. After that big scout fight, there's so much HP lost that now Dogao can't really lame, but the pocket has lost a good deal of HP on his scout now. And he's going to try to use the hill bonus there and find some way to bring the goats into his ally now. Dogao can just go kill them or pull them away. Vil will come over for Say My Name, but he will lose those two goats. So good laming there as Say My Name himself went forward, but hasn't yet found anything to lame. Could find two goats from Dogao to steal back. And hello, Braids. And avoiding the TC. Oh, but there we go. We have the pocket. Miguel doing some laming. Looks like Miguel, once again, stealing a boar from Say My Name. And so he'll be down at least one goat and a boar. And he might be able to get two goats now, but Dogao's scout is back at just about the right time. But too low on HP maybe to be able to affect that. And, well, that stolen goat might get stolen back by that eagle, as Say My Name is there just at the right time. And he'll get the goat and could potentially get on top of that hill and take the boar. So Say My Name, this game at least getting some counter laming. Good job from his pocket to help out. And Dogao not getting that boar in time. 3 on wood and going for a mill. So a very classic build order, not the modern 18 pop skip the mill build that people do with Ethiopians, or 18 vil skip the mill. But Miguel and Dogao will be very familiar with doing this aggressive 4v4 laming early on. They will be very experienced at playing Arabia. Looks like Goku's just calmly pushing in deer. And Fire is also getting a couple of goats on the side. Bad Boy might actually be able to intercept them and pull them back. Oh, no, actually he's just pushing deer. And he's also gone for a mill. So with all of the laming, does kind of make it a bit easier to add in the mill. But if Fire is not lamed, yeah, Fire, he's going to be a modern Arabia player. He's going to do 18 pop and click up without the mill. You can't adapt to the meta, go full lame. That's it. Brazil trying to play a more old school game with the laming instead of the clean mill builds. And Fire will be doing loom and 460 food, 466, just about ready to click up. These villages just need to force drop. And there he is. And he'll be pushing in some deer too. Just has to be careful when you're up this fast, you actually put enough vills on the wood that you can get your ranges up right away. I feel like 6 deer for Saracens, especially with no eco bonus, might be too fast. This is a 19 pop-up. 19 pop-up also from his pocket. Now the Slav's pocket, I've seen this used on Arabia. I think it has a really good team bonus because this barracks will now give +5 pop space to Fire, and then both of his ranges give +5 pop space. So that's basically 75 wood that not only he saves, but Dogao as the Ethiopians also saves. So one of the few early game team eco bonuses. I guess the Inca Llama will be added to that. Chinese do have that farm bonus, but that takes a bit longer to pay off. Brazil, best team that has no clue about today's meta. They seem to have been adapting to all of the different maps very well. And I feel like Arabia is really the only map where the very aggressive meta changes that have occurred really affect Nations Cup. Inca Llama is a great bonus. It took them, what, almost 10 years finally to make the Llama the team bonus? And so we'll have the range for Say My Name. We did have that mill for Dogao, and he'll be adding in a range. At least we're just not seeing the Drush Fast Castle from the flank and Fast Castle Knights from the pocket. Now that would be a throwback. I have issues to find a game in AoE 2 in the moment. If you mean this game specifically, if you're trying to watch, they are on the old patch. If you mean just in general, like in the lobby browser or ranked queue, I don't know of any issues currently, but it wouldn't surprise me if there were. So Fish going very aggressively for the walls and pumping out scouts as the Franks. Early tower for Bad Boy, not taking any chances, just throwing that up immediately. And we see 2 ranges right away from Fire. Saracens, of course, will have their attack bonus against the walls, so they'll get through a bit faster. And just now going out to the berries. Looks like we will have the blacksmith up first, and then the mill afterwards for Fire, as he's starting to amass archers, but not yet moving out with them. His scout, or his vill, gets 1 scout, and she just needs to right-click that. She can kill Fish's scout. Go, villager, go! Oh, she almost had it. Oh, she almost got 2 scout kills. Fire wasn't paying attention at the right time, but his scout should finish that off. And Fletching's now on the way. And gets that Doink there, and Goku's in the front. What are the rules? The rules are Nations Cup uses the old patch. And we'll have a scout fight on the other side. Looks like Say My Name might be thinking of trying to go to the pocket and bypass Dogao. Dogao does have a nice hill in front of his ranges there if he's able to control it. And gotta be careful, that's a low HP eagle. Scouts will just pick him off. And now Dogao will try to engage even without his pocket. Feels like he has the numbers advantage. He is the Ethiopian, so he does fire faster after a while too. There are, if I can click a scout, no upgrades on the scout yet. Which server? I do not know. I'll probably be on the dashboard. I don't think Capture Age displaying the server could be nice. On the left side, looks like Brazil is breaking in, using that Saracen's bonus to get through the walls. Does feel like Vietnam might have the bigger army, though. And Brazil will have to get back. They will re-wall right behind that hole. On West Europe, the worst server possible to even it out, I guess. There's a lot of scouts now here from the pocket. As Say My Name comes out from the ranges. 200. I imagine that's 300 ping for both of them if they're playing on West Europe. And oh, great fight from Dogao. Ethiopians just insane with their archer micro if you get the rhythm down. And Say My Name even on the hill. His pocket didn't want to fight there, but I think that actually should have been a fight. You don't want to just micro against the Ethiopian archers. Yeah, Soxy the Australian is like 180 ping is smooth. So, Say My Name trying to cling to this hill. Brazil trying to find ways to push. Yellow does have more scouts than Miguel does. Y'all needed to play on zone? Y'all needed to play on HD. Where it wasn't even the ping, it was just the game. Adding Hamachi connection to deny FP. Yep, I've done that. I've used Hamachi to play over LANs before. Just direct user patch without Voobly when I couldn't get my IP address exposed on some apartment Wi-Fi. Those were the days. Archers still trying to push in through this house here for Bad Boy. And as the Saracens, they will get in very quickly. And Bad Boy will have to defend with another layer of walls. Still a good number of archers, 17 to 21 though. He will have the closer reinforcements. And is relying on that tower to keep his gold and wood safe from this direction. But if the archers make too much progress here, he's going to lose control of the wood line on the other side. And the scouts from Fish may be thinking of running through the TC. Fire only walled to it and not completely to the front, adding in another house now. And Fish is going to stay away. And Brazil's gonna take this fight up the hill. And these are fully upgraded scouts from Miguel. No bloodlines here for our pole player. And this is gonna be a great fight with bloodlines for Brazil. They will take this hill and all of a sudden be pressuring Say My Name's gold. And it is now 13 archers to 12 with the hill and 3 scouts. Brazil will take that and even pick archers as Say My Name runs. Excellent play from Dogao there. He could have just stood and fought and probably taken fewer losses. But now the scouts also are in on his wood line. And I don't think that... Okay, yeah, that house didn't cover the hole, but that palisade does. And absolute bloodshed here. Say my name's just losing everything. That was a great call with bloodlines for Brazil to take that fight. Dogao's able to push in and now hit more vills on that lumber camp. DE vills will run away. I think that would have been a vill kill on Vubli. That's one of the things on my to-do list to check. The hitboxes of projectiles. It feels like DE, you don't hit the fleeing vills as well. On the left, maybe a slight advantage here, but not with the hill. These are 23 crossbows to about 25. Light Cav is in for fish, and Goku still doesn't have upgrades in. Just had been waiting for Light Cav armor and husbandry, but they take the fight before those come in. And that will be now a hill here for Vietnam to stand on. Maybe start pressuring the ranges there. Take out a few more crossbows from fire. We do have ballistics from Bad Boy. Does DE also have improved pathfinding? No. DE has pathfinding that makes vills walk at like right angles instead of straight lines. And then at the front, looks like Say My Name is running villagers. He is a good 10 vills over by the pocket. There'll be 3 stable night production, so they will survive and get away. This doesn't feel good if you're Say My Name, though. Looks like the knights will come out, and Dogao maybe being a bit over-aggressive with his crossbows, trying to group up with the rest of his army, but he will take some losses here until he finally gets the numbers and forces the knights away. But this is still 3 stable production. They have husbandry and +2. Say My Name trying to run. Yellow's not going to let him in, so he's going to try to chop his way in. And there we go with the delete on the palisade. And what? He needs a wood line somewhere, so he's coming to his pocket for wood. Feels like he's just not safe over here. Doing a university finally has walled himself, but he's down to 36 vills. And the other flank, Bad Boy, still only 42. But it is 42 to 45, so it's not a huge difference over here. Fire losing a range. We'll need to add more ranges in the back. Feels like Brazil might be on the back foot over here, but as a team, they are up about 20 vills at this point. Again, needing Dogao for that carry. And University going down, but Ballistics is in, so that's not too big of a deal. Losing the garrison crossbows on that range could hurt for fire. Dogao, or Goku now with a good mass of knights. That is still not really engaging. Have to be really careful with that hill. And reinforcements joining up for Bad Boy. 37 crossbows now. Only 30 here for fire. A couple more in that range, but he can't really extract them. And Fish just gonna keep pressuring it. It's down below half HP already. And we have the anti-ballistics micro dance going on there as Fire finally does get a moment to ungarrison. He'll be adding in Thumb Ring as they just camp that hill, but at the north it looks like a hole is made in the walls of Yellow, and our pole pocket is seemingly not a safe place for Say My Name to chop wood, as he has to run again to the other side. Say My Name just can't find wood, and Dogao will be taking a hill and microing as best he can against Say My Name here. And I think Dogao likes playing with the Ethiopians. I think it's safe to say that. Relieved to be playing meta after that game against China with their Goth Burmese combo. You see Fire trying to pull out some CBA micro. But we'll be losing another range. As he's just trying to camp between these two. But Say My Name is going to call the GG. As now Miguel and Dogao have come over to hit Fish. A game on one side that was being slightly won by Vietnam, versus a game on the other side that was absolutely dominated by Miguel and Dogao. So 2-0 lead for Brazil. And Vietnam on the verge of being knocked out. And look at that, 76 kills for Dogao. And only 12 for the Pocket. And that all just snowballed from that one fight on that hill over here abouts when Brazil had all the feudal upgrades, they had bloodlines, and then our Pole player did not have bloodlines. So aggressive and very good play there. And you can just see how the slow castle each time, say my name, getting hurt. That lowest eco. And our Poles player had the biggest eco with all that food collected, but didn't pay off, wasn't aggressive enough. And thank you, Genie VN, for the follow. Most fills for fish, too. Most APM for our Pole Pocket. And that's a 2-0 lead there. Brazil also winning Arabia. And Vietnam looks like they're picking Team Acropolis as their final map. Let's check off the civs real quick. So that was a set of losses there for Portuguese, Franks, Poles, and Mayans. And then wins for Ethiopians, Saracens, Slavs, and Magyars. How'd I rank Dogao as a player? Probably of the Brazilians, he's the best 1v1 player right now. Oh, you're always floating around that area where he might not be at like the very top with like Viper and Hera and Leary and Yo, but he can always take games from them, and you'd never be surprised if he does manage to win a series. And he's kind of competitive in that next set of players. Yeah, in Brazil, they used Ethiopians, but barely even touched their top rows of civs. Vietnam going pretty deep into it. But I'd imagine Team Acropolis, probably Chinese, Cumans, Berbers, Malians from Vietnam. You'd have Mongols, Spanish, Huns, Burmese from Brazil. Maybe Mongols, Spanish, Burmese, Goths. Tatars too. Yeah, Mongols, Spanish, Burmese, Tatars, perhaps. We're actually going with Burgundians. Tatars, Burgundians, Spanish, Mongols. Against Cumans, Chinese, Bulgarians, Bohemians. Haven't played maps for those civs? Well, I mean, they did play Golden Lakes, where Brazil could have used Dravidians, Japanese, Italians, or Byzantines as flanks. Even Mongols as a flank there if you want to go up fast and dock. Try to be aggressive. At least that's my opinion. I think in USAE, we've probably used all of those civs as a Golden Lakes flank. Either that or always save Dravidians for migration. I mean, as much as Team Islands is their home map, I do feel like Vietnam could have just tried to pick it and play Portuguese Bengalis. I mean, I'm still looking. Portuguese, Bengalis, Vikings, Koreans might be the best set of civs you can get for Team Islands. I suppose there are landing opportunities that could still kill you early on. But if you commit to defending the landings and then have Koreans, Vikings, Portuguese, Bengalis for water late game, I think that's still scary. Yeah, Dogao feels like he's been playing very well. He did win against Jordan. And was that the Admirals League? I didn't see what event that was. Or maybe it was the King of the Desert show match, but he did take a good win against Jordan recently. And so Cumans are a civ that I think you play them well, and they're potentially the best civ for Team Acropolis. But you have to rely on all of your teammates defending you while you boom. And we did see that kind of backfire for the UK yesterday when the Cuman player didn't have their free boom but got pressured quite a bit. This is something I've kind of been thinking of, though, of the map picks. In these best of fives, Team Islands and Migration are where you want to use Vikings. But if you don't pick one of those, there isn't really a good spot to use Vikings. So if you're the team picking maps first, you might want to try not to pick those as your home maps. And picking seconds, you kind of want to pick them just so that you have Vikings there. Maybe that's thinking a bit too much into Vikings. But something I did kind of note while watching these best of fives. Anyway, we will have Vietnam on their second home map trying to get a win together. They will be to the west. We'll have Fish as the Cumans, Same name as the Chinese, Teokwori as the Bulgarians, and Bad Boy as the Bohemians. Then to the east, we will have Fire as the Tatars, Goku as the Burgundians, Miguel as the Spanish, and Dogao as the Mongols. Brazil trying to end the series here. Sometimes we do see docks in the middle. There are usually 5 fish there. I was thinking I should just consistently make it always 5 fish in the middle. That's something I didn't really notice while I was putting the map together. But some teams do like to go for the fish. And I think having it consistent so it's not randomly 3 fish instead of 5 might make that a bit, just a bit more consistent for the strategy decision, because you can't really scout that yourself. If it were like shallows and you could walk across and scout and see how many fish there were before docking, then maybe it's... I mean, I'm still okay with it being a bit random, but I think some consistency would be nice. Usually it's 5, though. So we'll have the deer push here. Oop, a bit difficult. There's someone late. Let's check again. What server? Okay, so West Europe again. Can't imagine West Europe is a pleasant experience for either team. But at least it shouldn't be giving a huge advantage to one over the other. This setup is where you have to be careful going for the side TCs, because there won't be much gold or stone nearby. You have to go to the front. And for Brazil, looks like they won't really have a good gold plus forest TC spot. Vietnam has a bit of a better map gen there with 3 spots they could put their human TC. And we'll see Bad Boy long distance luring the boar. You do get a few extra boars on this map, so long distance lures give you a bit more food, and will be especially helpful for Dogao as the Mongols. As Mongols with extra boar just means your love and life. He sees he has that one boar at the front, and he does have another one on the side that he might scout eventually. West Europe servers aren't even good to play on from Germany. I'm generally okay with my US East server. I feel like the best way to play though was just the good old offline LAN on the user patch. That was even better than DE. I've never actually tried doing the LAN on DE, but because you need an internet connection to start it, so it's not like a true offline LAN experience. I don't know if that still goes through servers. Best way is campaign. Best way is campaign with 0 kills. So fire will be coming forward. Looks like Dogao wants to go lure in another boar. He's on his way to feudal, so he has loom. And we'll be hunting this boar on the edge of the map. And Mongols with a potential 4 boar, or, I mean, if your teammate shares the extra boar, a potential 6 boar, is pretty scary. Now barracks going up at the front for Dogao. Looks like he'll be opening scouts. And we'll have 3 players up fast on Brazil, and probably Miguel going for the fast castle as the Spanish, but Burgundians, Tatars, and Mongols are all going aggressive in the feudal age. Tatars can do either an archer or scout opening, and by the looks of it, Fire will be going for some archers, and then we'll have scouts from both Goku as the Burgundians and Dogao as the Mongols. On the other side, we will of course have our Cuman Boomer going for that second TC. Where will he place the second TC? It looks like in the back, where it will be safe on a wood line and not forward on the gold. And he's up. And the TC, there is double bit axe, forward scout. Oh, actually he's going... Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's the wrong player. Wrong player. I got yellow and orange mixed up sometimes in Capture Age. Now, we will indeed have the Cuban player on the side, and adding in the TC on the stone, wood, extra boar, and 4 deer. So nice TC location, but once again, we'll need to worry about securing gold later on. Sometimes when you're on the side, you really have to secure the front of the map to get your gold. You don't always get a spawn over here. And forward scouts for Brazil. Trying to hit that scout from Bad Boy, get as much damage as they can. And Bad Boy will be going for archery for an archery range himself. So double ranges for fire. I'm hearing some doinks as we have say my name picking up a villager there. Nice kill from him on Goku as Goku was trying to wall. Goku adding in that stable. And oh, another boar coming in for Dogao. So will he... Oh, he won't. He needs to switch vills. Use the high HP vill now. Oh no, he's not going to get that one. Didn't quite pull it off. That would have been nice if he could switch the vills there and then have the full HP one bring it in. He's moving out with his scouts. Hard to harass the Cuman player though with 2 TCs. Especially if the deer behave and walk underneath the TC so the vills are safer. But this will be a full wall. Remember, as the Cumans, you do have a team bonus with more HP on your Palisades. You'll have 333 instead of 250 in the Feudal Age. And walls in the back are just about finished for Vietnam. Bad Boy finishing up his part of the base. And then Yellow will finish up the back as well, add in a house. And as long as there are no holes, Vietnam will be fully walled. Gate might not want to be held open. But the archers are aware. And they look to be walled now. So now the question is, how do you punish the Cuman Boom? You're in the Feudal Age, committing to this aggression. Can be hard to push the Cuman Palisades at the top of the hill when the other team is committing to defensive archers. And Wolf going to hit Dogao's wood villagers, but they'll take it out no problem. There's no bracket command. You can do !NC23, and the bracket will be on that Wikipedia page. And Brazil continuing to move forward. Might be able to pick off this army here from Bad Boy. Wolf goes down to the archers. And he's thinking about how he wants to fight the scouts, but now the archers come out of the shadows and pick off the spears. And now a good surround on Bad Boy's archers, moving forward without his pocket. Yellow's Xing that. But they were not together, and they're going to pay for that. As Brazil is moving forward, and look at Goku even recognizing the pathfinding. Not going to let Fire's archers move out without the protection of these scouts. And now, here's the problem. You force up the tower there for Bad Boy, and potentially even a tower in the back as well. But Miguel is up, he's adding in the castle, and we'll be going Conquistadors. Maybe a danger to leave a hole there just in case some unexpected scouts show up, but castle will go up. No one has docked the middle. And archers need to find something to hit. We see Goku wanting to scout, but also not wanting to move too far away. So they're just gonna decide to hit the top here. And Bad Boy will have gotten some reinforcements now. Hard for Fire to move reinforcements all the way across the map now, but maybe could send them with Conquistadors if they get a bit of an escort. And that palisade is at least started there from Miguel, so there's no hole. And actually, we don't have much of a follow-up in terms of archer numbers from Fire. Has 17 archers. Only 6 of them are there. Where are his other archers? Looks like maybe defending at home if Say My Name's getting in. He had Dogao not fully walling around the back. And the Conquistadors will have to clean the archers first before they go forward. Should have no problem cleaning that, though. Just as long as they hit. And thank you, Paku007, for the follow. I'm looking for the rest of Fire's archers. Oh, they're just amassing in his base. That's where the reinforcements are. They're not in the ranges, they're just in the back. And now, looks like Brazil will be pushed back as Bad Boy has replenished his archer numbers. And they want to keep Fire's archers alive to turn into crossbow as Fire is up to the Castle Age. Bad Boy will be up just a bit faster, though. And they're thinking about how to take this fight while also preserving the archers. Their advantage is they've already killed the archers and they have a numbers lead. But, ooh, that pathfinding around the bigger forest might hurt Fire. Nope, he's not jumped. And he is still getting away. Conquistador is finishing the clean of those archers. TC up for Dogao. And Dogao with the Mongols. Looks like he's just going to be booming on 3 TCs, adding in a couple of Step Lancers while doing so. And remember, this is Vietnam's home map, and Fish, as the Cumans, hasn't really taken too much pressure. He does have that clean 50 villager, and oh no, accidentally right-clicking a boar is Fire, and he has to just finish it off so it doesn't kill his archers. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. And Fire is just trying as much as he can to get back, adds in a gate so the archers can come in, and as soon as he has crossbow and bodkin, he'll be able to take this fight. No ballistics yet for Bad Boy. We'll see how quickly the University comes in, but the Tatar's extra hill bonus and free thumb ring should help out in this fight. Fire just has to be careful of his vills on this wood line now. Keep them moving. And, oh, there's a hole. There is an overchop. The scouts get in. But at the same time, the crossbows are killing Bad Boy's crossbows, and the scouts shouldn't really be able to do too much damage. Goku's there to chase, even with a couple of knights. And as Burgundians, he could add in Cavaliers. And it might be Conquistador Cavalier as a way to fight the Cuman Knights in the Castle Age. It does feel like you need an aggressive multiple player effort to overcome Cuman Knight spam once they've gotten this boom in. Looks like there was a hole where Dogao had gotten into the wood line, but Bad Boy will have crossbows over to clean that up. And, oh, Bad Boy's still in the wood line, somehow sneaking some crossbows back here. We do have ballistics now from both Bad Boy and Fire. As Bad Boy will try to run until the Knights chase him down. But maybe pick another Vil. Oh, nice dance moves there, but one Vil goes down. And Fire couldn't save him. Hello, Svangard. And nice micro here from Miguel, trying to run away from the Knights and the Camels. Taking advantage of DE pathfinding as much as he can. Try to avoid getting trapped on a forest. Now that his numbers have started to dwindle a bit, he won't be as effective at this micro. He is getting split up too and attacked by a wolf. Could the wolf get the kill? Or could the wolf get the kill on the Conquistador? That'll be the last unit Fire focuses. He might attract another wolf as he takes out the Knights, and, well, I thought he might have started to run into trouble there, but 5 Conquistadors was more than enough to clean all of that. And now, if we look at the booms, 68 for the Mongols against 73 as the Cumans. Cuman will still be a bit ahead. They've had the eco for longer. And Dogao had been going for those scouts. But those boar early on powering the Mongols' boom. And Fish, he's just going to be trying to deal back here with the Conquistadors. And might finally take them out, but at pretty high losses. Still Camels taking fire. Nice targeting there of the low HP units. The Wolves getting in. And now they'll go for the Camels. Those Wolves have been hungry. They're like Huang when they see a TC. Miguel is being a bit of a micro nerd there, but now it's Fire's turn to micro nerd and try to get away from these Knights. Taking them out and continuing to run. As at the south, it looks like now it is Cavalier from Goku along with Conquistadors. Well, Camels should, in quotations, counter this, but you need a lot of them. If there's one civ that can get a lot of Castle Age Camels, it's the Cumans with behind their boom. But Dogao now ahead in Vils and actually clicking up to the Imperial Age, adding in a castle and starting to make a Mangudai transition. And at about 28 minutes in, should be at 100 plus Vils by the time he reaches Imp, ready to start making that transition for the Imperial Age upgrades in the Mangudai, and he is sending Vils forward. And wouldn't be surprised to see Brazil go for a very forward wall off and try to secure these corners, secure as much map control as they can, and get themselves a nice trade line while pressuring the potential trade line of Vietnam. And here is that forward castle from Miguel. Conquistadors at home, not enough. He needs to go forward for the conks. Vietnam does have the score lead and a bit of a Vil lead, though, as we do have Sama Name now transitioning to crossbows with the Chinese. We have seen Leary play as the purple Chinese in the pocket on Acropolis and be very effective with them. Let's say my name. He's a good player, but might not quite be the same level of crossbow Arbalest micro as Leary has. And that monk, will he get a conversion? He won't. They are starting to get a good number of Cuman camels, but they don't have the heavy camel upgrade, so it's really hard to scale them. You'd much prefer to be able to be making knights that you could then turn into cavalier and eventually paladins. And where are these vills going for Miguel? What's going to be here? Is that going to be another castle? As the cavaliers from Goku think of taking that fight. That castle, that might be overly ambitious with all the crossbow there. And we'll now have a defensive castle right away from Fish. Dogao will be up to Imp. Samaname will be on the way. I have 3 castles here rather forward for Dogao, controlling the map, but also keep in mind that the Mongols do want their Mangudai production. And it is kind of risky for them to have forward castles, but these seem to be, at least for the moment, pretty secure for Dogao. Big fight in the middle as now Fire has brought his crossbows forward, and Brazil has taken a score lead. They've just about evened up the Vil count. And, well, Cuman Camel transition can be awkward. So can the Tatar transition when Fire has him going for crossbows, but he does not have that Arbalest upgrade. He will need at some point to switch to Heavy Cav Archer. And we'll have a defensive castle here from Samaname, who will be up to Imp, or just about 45 seconds from now. So in terms of a Treb war, Vietnam will have the advantage with Brazil trying to go so far forward and not being up to Imp yet. Miguel only on 69 vills, he's not close to clicking. And they're going to have to rely upon their Castle Age army to secure the map here. But once Samaname gets up and gets some Trebs popping, these castles will start dropping. We'll also have Fish up to Imp 90 seconds more until he starts getting Trebs. And he will be getting, wanting a defensive castle by his gold, but Dogao is in with the Mangudai. Dogao, once again, feels like he is the carry player for Brazil in all of these games, getting the Mangudai raids in at the south, as that castle from Miguel deleted upon seeing the Imp. We'll have chemistry on the way also for Samaname. Soxy's a believer in Vietnam. But Dogao is getting the raids in.
Alright.
I might be cornered here. Camels are even a bit faster than the Mangudai, but he just doesn't want to get caught out of position. We see Elite Mangudai on the way, Parthian Tactics on the way. Looks like he already has Bracer and Chemistry. And the Cavalier raid from Goku will be once again hitting Fish. And this is the Cuban player, the player who should have had the good eco the entire time, just now adding in Cavaliers, but about 35 minutes and only 110 vills. You usually want the Cuban to have much more eco than that. And raids coming in, dropping below 100 vills. The TC shooting the wolf instead of the Mangudai. And Fish, under a lot of pressure, did eventually get up a castle, but by a TC that is just garrisoned and idled. Little Dogao, he's just pumping up Mangudai, not worried about siege yet. And he'll be adding in the workshops. And this might even be the time for the ram push from the Mongol player. I know often it can be over-aggressive, but drill rams at this point, maybe that'll just end Fish. To the north, we'll have the Cav Archers from Fire comboing with the Conquistadors and Mangudai of his teammates, taking out a lot of crossbows there from Bad Boy as Brazil's starting to open up a score lead and also a bit of a Vil lead. Dogao, he didn't kill that tower earlier. He's just going to sit under it with some Mangudai and try to finish it off now. No murder holes, but those Mangudai were slightly too far away. As Fire will continue getting in some raids. In the middle, looks like we have a bit of a doubt castle here from Goku, as Samaname is moving forward, trying to TC this forward gold, but more vills are on the way. The TC goes up. Feels like Goku eventually has the army advantage here, but does he have enough? Maybe he doesn't with both yellow and purple here. He's going to try to finish the castle, gets it up to 82%, but loses a few more vills before more Cavalier reinforcements arrive. And he will once again need to send more vills if he wants to create that. Sucks, he's still a believer in Say My Name with the Arbs. Doing what he can. Taking a fight uphill against Mangudai, but the Arbs won't be able to deal with the siege rams that are on the way. Our speedy drill siege rams are Ferraris from the Mongol player. Dancing with Cavaliers is not going to work when there are so many Mangudai. And feels like Brazil once again winning this fight here. Dogao pushing forward with the Mangudai. The Lamborghinis are now taking out that TC and pushing towards the castle. This is why I say they're sometimes overly aggressive, because of how those Cavaliers are able to jump on top of them there. That they will do a lot of damage to the castle, as the Treb is also added in from behind. Don't think the Cavaliers will be able to take them out, as the Mangudai just dance their way, shoot their arrows, and run. And that castle will be going down in short order. And down it goes, Brazil continuing to push. Say My Name doing his best to hold. Getting closer to Dogao and score, but Fish has taken so much damage. And still, Vietnam, they're not walled. Fire has his group of leftover crossbows in the corner ready to start hitting the trade. He's paying attention, he could stop the markets. But eventually he'll see the trade and deal with it. We got only 17 Mangudai? Well, he has lost quite a few. But he does still have 4 castle Mangudai production, so he can remass them. And this is where the ram push, it's aggressive, you clear some castles, but eventually the rams get taken out. It's not like Trebs that you keep alive, oh, but this is going to be a villager massacre here. All those Mangudai just in the right spot. And Fish was back over 100 vills. Now he's back down into the 90s. Not really the population you need to be able to pump those paladins. And what are these markets here from Bad Boy? I think that's just extra to get the trade pumped out. And they want to add in their trade, but Fire there already paying attention with the crossbows. Dogao will be pushing down with the Mangudai. To the north, we have our Bulgarians trying to secure some gold. And we do have stone walls here from Fire as Brazil is securing their trade. We'll look at the trade numbers. Miguel with the Spanish. Brazil will have the Spanish trade bonus, and already 10 trade cards for Miguel. But at the same time, Say My Name, doing his impersonation of Fire, getting to the back with his Arbs. These are just Burgundian paladins. They won't have bloodlines. And they might struggle to clean this many Arbs if they're microed well. Looks like the Arbs are focusing on the Cav Archers first, though. And they will be cleaned, but did some damage while they were here. Now we chill for 15 minutes until trade. Does feel like now Yellow has the Bulgarians getting his Stirrup Cavaliers out. Starting to stabilize a bit. Bad Boy is okay in the north. Still a 100-vil lead for Brazil, though. Vietnam's going to have to hope, though, that they can play 3v4 for a little while until Fish gets back into the game. And this is where the Spanish player being in the Castle Age for so long starts to backfire, as Miguel is just up to Imp now and doesn't quite have his full population. Eventually, I imagine that he would want to switch into Paladins, too, from the Conquistadors. Spanish will have fully upgraded Paladins, so better than Goku with the Burgundians, but it takes time to get there. Are Stirrup Cavalier better than Paladins without bloodlines? I imagine the loss of armor, or the loss of the HP, or the lack of the HP, rather, hurts you a lot in the team game situations when you have stuff like Mangudai and Arbs shooting at you. Maybe in a straight-up fight, Stirrups would be better, but in the team game situation, still it's an extra 20 HP for the Paladins over the Cavaliers. And that HP against the huge archer masses matters. But we also have Fish. He is Speedy Cuman Cavalier is not at Paladin yet, but he's going to try to get some raids in. We have Fire with some crossbows still in the back in the trade, killing some trade carts. These crossbows among them have 43 kills. Adding some great value here. If we look at the trade numbers, much better for Brazil, and that's much better with Spanish trade. They need to get Miguel pumping, though. He's going for Hussars and Plate Barding. Hussar is an interesting choice here when he already has the trade added in. Goku being pushed, and Vietnam is pushing, and Miguel does need to get into the game sooner rather than later with Army, still only on 10 military. Fire, though, might be winning the game with these few remaining crossbows here. Even as their numbers start to drop, they're still at 30 plus kills. And he's just taking out the trade. And Brazil's going to have much better trade here in the near future. We already see Say My Name needing to switch into that trash unit of the Halb instead of Arb. Maybe giving his Bohemian player the opportunity to add the Arbs, but you'd much rather have the Bohemian Halbs than the Chinese ones. And Vietnam still at a lead of about 100 military. A lot of them are just these trash unit Halbs, though, against the Mengadai. We are starting to see some Shuko news, though, from Say My Name. They need to be backed up with some type of cannon or gunpowder, though, I think. And, well, that's what the Bohemians can do. Bulgarians at least have good siege to support them. Chinese might need to make their own bombard towers forward. Fire adding in a couple of forward sheep, but that's not going to help with the castle on his face. A very forward castle from Goku, though, if he wants to get into that Treb War. Dogao getting up now to 48 Mengadai. He had been losing some earlier. 25 there, has some in the back. Some raids coming in from Yellow with Hussars, but will be cleaned immediately by Miguel. Miguel doing Blast Furnace, doing Supremacy, not because he wants to Vil fight, but because it'll keep his Vils alive from raids better. As they are being raided quite a bit. Fish is in the back with Cavaliers, but still, Cuman Cavaliers, he's not been able to click that Paladin upgrade. He's just constantly been under pressure, now needs to add in Hussars. His eco is struggling if you look at the trade numbers again. Starting to equalize now that Fire's crossbows have been cleaned up. And still, though, better numbers for Brazil, especially for Miguel. And remember, it's not just the trade, they still do have gold that they're mining. So they don't need to have that 60 plus trade just yet. Tarsus is trying to give energy for Vietnam. They still do have a huge military lead. They're down in Vils, but at this point, it's overall population that matters, and it's about 700 for each team. And all of those early raids from Brazil, well, maybe it was a pretty big investment for them, as they still don't really have Miguel contributing to this game. He's at 13 military, and he is the player who wants to be going Paladin in preference to Goku in the long run. Maybe Goku with trade up could go for Kustier, but you will hit the point soon where it becomes hard for the Burgundians to continue contributing in Imp. Paladins without bloodlines will struggle. We see banking on the way for Fire, maybe thinking about slinging. I mean, do you prefer just Spanish Paladin, Mongol Mengadai, and full sling from Tatars to the Mongols and Burgundians to the Spanish? Or do you want Tatars still to have their own Cav Archers and Burgundians to be making, at some point, I'd imagine Kustier instead of Paladins? There are light cav. There are now light cav here from Goku. Goku no army. Goku no army. 17 army. Pockets from Brazil no army is a pretty big problem. As Fire's trying to hold. We'll be fighting Heavy Cav Archer versus Halb, which is okay, but not okay against the Skirmishers. Taking out that Treb is absolutely huge, though. It buys him time, and Goku can now add in some bombard cannons. I just feel like Goku needs to have cavalry over here. 21 military. Where are his stables? Goku has been forward this whole time on the other side of the map, but now Fire is getting pushed, and that endangers their trade. He has to add in some Keshiks here. But all those bombard cannons, so much value there. The Burgundians having their extra damage, just flattening the skirms. And interesting to see a ram push here from Bad Boy instead of the Hufnitze. Maybe he's thinking rams hold up better against the heavy cav archers. But fire, at least for the moment, is holding. Might need to try to come and get this wall finished again. Alright, hold on, my internet dropped. Oh, don't drop internet.